Hey, what's up, Stringlings? Today we are going to take a look at another new guitar. It is this one. Let's check it out. A little while back, I played you a little demo on one of my brand new favorite guitars that was sent to me by EART, or EART. I've heard it said both ways. If any reps from the company can let us know for sure which way they want the name of the company pronounced, that would be very helpful, because I think there's a little bit of confusion. I've been saying it EART, quite a few people have. It's sort of like Earth, but with no H. Anyway, it was the T380, which is based on a Charvel Sandemus model, sort of a Tele-style body with the dual humbuckers. One of my absolute favorite guitars, and I play it all the time. I'm using it constantly. So with the relative success of that video, they sent this one over. This is something I have not tried before, which is a headless guitar. This is the GW2, which has been out for a little while now. Retails on Amazon for about $520-ish Canadian. So even at that, still a pretty affordable guitar in this marketplace. And it's different. It is a different guitar. Overall, excellent build quality. I did have a little problem with some of the grounding on the electronics. I tweaked that. But in conversation with the sales rep at the company, they were quite willing to replace it if I couldn't get it fixed. In fact, they were willing to pay for a repair if it were not for the fact that I am also a repair shop. So they are quite open to that if you have any issues in that area. Now, some construction things that we want to look at, just in terms of the way the guitar is built. The finish isn't quite as fine as the T380. And I think it's because they've gone with really a very natural finish. So the wood grain is still textured. So as a result, they haven't done as fine of a sanding job. There are a couple of little bumps here and there. It's not a big deal. It's really easy to take care of. This is made with a Paduk body, as you can see, stained red. And I believe it's a poplar burl top, which comes in a variety of different colors. I went with the natural because I just think it looks really cool. As well as a five-piece neck that is mostly roasted maple, rosewood fingerboard, and as you can see, they've gone with the side dots. The pickups are not high output pickups. This is not really designed as a metal guitar. It's designed as kind of a lyrical or classic sounding guitar. So they're a little bit lower output, but a very, very classy design. And I have to be honest, their pickups are really good. Like, they're really good, high quality. I think they're Korean pickups. The thing that puts people off about this instrument... Oh, I also wanted to mention they haven't gone to quite the detail work with the hand carve here, the hand bevel. The body bevels are nice though, so it is quite comfortable to play. It actually sits very nicely on your left knee, with the body resting on the right knee. It actually sits quite comfortably there. So there's no issues with it being like feeling weird to play. It's actually quite comfortable to play. And that's something that puts people off a little bit when they see these headless guitars. Like, why would you do that? Why would you have a headless guitar? The cool thing is, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, see if you can see the bridge has these rollers on it. Okay, and the strings wrap underneath the rollers. There's a hole through each of those rollers, and then they're cranked on here. There's a little device here. We'll probably look at it again, but that's a crank for winding the strings on, right? But you can tune it by hand quite easily. You don't need the device to do that. That's just for rapid turning, right? So the ball end goes up on this end, similar to, for example, the Hush 1 from Donner. Yeah, again, exceptional fret job. Truly, truly exceptional fret job. I took a rocker to it, fret rocker to it. No issues with fret leveling at all. It is just a great, well-built guitar. Is it as well-built as the T380? Not in some of the detail work and the fine finishing, but I think overall, if you were to get... It's lighter, because of course it's missing a headstock and a big chunk of the body. But the controls are excellent. These pickups don't split. So they're not split coil pickups, it's just a 3-position switch, and volume and tone controls. Very straightforward, but still a very well designed guitar. It plays really well. Let's take it down to the desktop and we'll see what we can get it to do. Okay, we're all rigged up. I am playing into the Soldano SLO 100 from Neural DSP. I've got the GW2 here tuned up. I do have this tuned to drop D, and I will say that a couple of things that I had to do, it was a little bit noisy. Turns out there was a grounding issue. You might hear still a little bit of buzz, but I think I got it sorted out. Very easy fix, and they are quite willing to jump on board and ship you out a new guitar if this turns out to be a problem. I happen to run a repair shop, so it wasn't a problem. I just did some tweaking and got it fixed. Also, I did a very short setup. I did put on a set of 9-gauge strings just as a matter of preference. That just happens to be my preference. And so, you know, it ships with 10-gauge strings. I changed the strings on it just to see how the rollers work on the bridge, and they work great. Actually, I really like them. It's very, very easy to tune, as I said in the intro. So this is just the guitar with a clean amp. So this is my clean signal amp. So that's the guitar on the bridge pickup, and on the neck pickup. Sounds very nice. Let's throw a little ambience on there. I'm going to switch that one off, and we're going to put the ambient control on. Give us a little bit more depth, a little bit more that kind of progressive flair. Yeah, that again, that's on the neck pickup. Yeah, it's really nice. The bridge pickup on that same tone gives you a little bit more brightness, obviously. And I should point out there is some compression on the amp as well, so that's why you're hearing a little bit of a compressed tone. With both pickups, it's quite nice as well. That's actually one of my favorite two pickup combinations. That is a very nice tone. You know, it almost sounds like the fourth position on a single coil guitar, but there's no hum, so it's still using the humbucker tone. It's quite nice. Listen, there is quite a bit of sweep in the tone pot. I haven't used the tone pot here, but this is the bridge pickup again. That's with the tone all the way down. So you can get some really nice effects with that. But also, if you're finding that you've got a lot of really bright tone in your signal chain, use your tone control. It's really, you know, that's what it's there for, right? I'm going to switch that clean off, and I'm going to go to just a full out metal gain. This is actually switching over to the Omega Ampworks Granifier, using one of my presets. This is a set of Eminence DV77 and CV75 speakers in the impulse response from the Granifier. This is kind of a high gain metal tone that I use quite a lot. So let's see how this works compared to other guitars that I have. That's punchy, right? It's very bassy, and I think these are pickups don't really give you an EQ, but excuse me, I think they're the flavor of the pickups is a little bit more of almost a vintage kind of flavor. They didn't put a modern toned pickup in here, so I don't think they're very high output pickups. Yeah, there's a lot of depth to that. Yeah, a lot of body to that. Really, really thick humbucker sound. This is a good example of where you might want to take the bass a little bit out of your EQ if you're switching guitars. Make sure that you're set up so that you can brighten the tone up a little bit. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm using a plugin. So doing that is going to make things get a little bit haywire in the recording. But it is quite punchy. So if you're using this in a mix, with that kind of tone and you get that really heavy bottom end, it sounds great when you're playing by yourself. You want to eliminate those lower frequencies so they're not fighting against the bass, for example. Can we do Master of Puppets in the wrong key? I'm going to do it with an open D. Don't ask me to play the next part with an open D tuning. So, yeah, very, very cool. Very lovely, crunchy, bassy sound. I'm not going to do a Doom thing by going to the neck pickup. If you're into that stuff, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's go to the lead style. So this, again, is back to the SLO 100. A little bit more ambience, and you'll hear it when I squeak my way through. Okay. So there's a lot of resonance because there are several layers of overdrive on there. But let's go into something a little bit solo-y, starting with the bridge pickup. Right, so that little bit of feedback, again, that's from the amp, and we can get you can get really pretty good articulation with this. And then up to the neck pickup. So you notice we're not getting a lot of ground noise, so whatever I did kind of worked. It's a little bit noisy because we're squealing out that extra overdrive for the leads, right? Yeah, I mean, it sounds great. I didn't do anything with the action on this. The action is all set down here. So I'm playing this. It's very, very close to how I would set the guitar up. And I do have to say that the tuning is extremely stable. It does have, as we discussed, it has this little widget thing that is magnetized and sits in the side of the bridge so that you can crank the tuners on here really quickly, but it's perfectly easy to tune them just like the fine tuners on a Floyd Rose. Actually a little bit easier than the Floyd Rose ones. So, don't let's get this back in here now. Don't drop that. Yeah, so don't be put off by the fact that all of your tuning happens down here at the bridge. Overall, very, very excellent playing guitar. Let's go back and we'll discuss this in a little bit more detail. Okay, so that is the GW2 from EART. Honestly, a very, very cool, excellent playing guitar. It sounds great, it plays great. You could conceivably use it as an upgrade model if you wanted to put in a set of pickups. My favorites for something like this might be a super clutch from Peg City. But honestly, the way it's built already, it sounds great. It doesn't really need any work. This one I did have to do, as I said, a tiny bit of electrical work. They were happy to pay for it. They didn't have to because I'm doing that anyway, so that was a bonus. But if you do have issues like that, they're quite comfortable with handling them professionally. So don't be concerned about that at all. In fact, they were totally prepared to send me a new guitar if I couldn't get it working. It's not that it wasn't working, it was just noisy, and we had a little bit of problem just kind of grounding things a little bit. But it was 2 solder joints, and it was dealt with. So overall, really fantastic guitar. If you're into this type of instrument, or if you've never gone into the market for this type of instrument, this would be a really, really, really good place to start. It's solidly built. It plays extremely well. The setup out of the factory is great. The fretwork is, again, second to none. It does have a 0 fret here just beside the nut, so that alleviates any action issues coming from the nut end of the instrument. The bridge is just a really cool design. I would love to see more of this kind of thing. I think it's just a good design for a bridge. You just have to be a little bit careful to make sure that you measure out the string. I measured the new string against the old string before I cut it and then installed it, kind of one at a time. But very cool design ideas, like having the magnetic crank, which I think is just something that just, to me, indicates that there's some care and consideration given to the function of the thing. So overall, I would recommend this instrument. I wouldn't have any qualms whatsoever if somebody asked me, is this a good guitar? Yes, this is a good guitar. I recommend it. I may get another one, but they have quite a few. The only drawback to this is you can't hang it on a hanger. So you need a specialty hanger to hang it horizontally or hang it upside down or something. I haven't figured that out yet, but I'm going to figure it out, and I'll let you know what I come up with. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and make sure that you are subscribed. I get a lot of viewers who are not subscribers, and they're not even all unique viewers, so I get quite a few repeat viewers who are not subscribed. So you might as well subscribe and just get an update when new content comes out. Make sure that if you are interested in seeing more of this stuff more often, you become a member of the channel. That way we'll be able to push out more content as we go, especially now coming into summer. There's going to be more time to do more cool stuff, and yeah, it would just be great to keep providing you guys with these reviews and keeping you up to date on what's happening. So that's it for me for today. I hope you enjoy whatever is coming up for your weekend, and yeah, I will see you guys again next time.